The belle of the ball.
I'm gonna start streaming in 1 second as well.
Okay.
As of right now.
So it's happening.
It's the posse is here.
Oh wow. Oh, I need to come back into the posse.
Yeah, get your ass into the posse.
That is my favorite Kanye West song. Speaking of which,
posse. I was gonna call it the posse.
Guys.
Oh, there you are.
Posse members. Oh, I'm automatic. Wow, I'm in the posse naturally.
Nice.
I tested it. You were born into the posse.
Won't let me shoot my posse mates, but it'll let me shoot everything right outside of them, but not them. I can shoot right next to your head and make you. I love how scared you get when the bullets whiz by your head.
I know, you freaked out.
Yeah, what a wuss.
What a wuss. Yeah, if only this guy wasn't such a wuss. Okay. Have we started the recording of the stream or the podcast?
Nope, we sure haven't, but that's okay because.
Whose horse is this?
I'll let you know this is gonna be. That's my horse. That's Weenie Master. I'm riding a
Weenie Master.
All right.
All right.
All right. I'll take the reins.
Uh-oh, the sun's coming up someday.
Uh-oh. Actually, that's good. It's okay. Okay. Now
this horse won't stop.
I equipped it with no brakes.
Oh, I accidentally. I guess I got myself a bounty.
You don't mind loud noise when you're on a horse.
No.
I don't. Yeah.
No. When you're off the horse, you're very timid, intense, and yeah. But right now, no.
Did I shoot you, Pascal?
Yeah. No, it just whizzed right past
me. Right now.
Okay, because the reticle turned red. Oh, I shot the body off.
Oh, you shot. Oh.
Oh. Where is it? Where is it?
Oh, you shot. Oh. Oh. He was alive.
Where is
buddy.
it? Where
He'd lay you down somewhere nice.
It's like talking to a dog, but it's just a dead person.
Oh, he's still alive.
Oh,
okay, I'm gonna cut him free. Let's see what he does.
We have really humiliated this guy. Oh, don't.
Oh God, what's happening? All right, before we go any further into this podcast, what is our goal in this game?
Well,
to be the best cowboy in the West.
Episode of Disc Read Redemption. You can.
There's like a mission or something.
Yeah, I've got bounty missions I can take us on.
Okay, so let's go bag us a bounty.
All right.
Bag bounty. Okay.
And cue the music.
Disc Read error.
Howdy. Howdy, boys.
Outlaw country.
Hello.
Who are we after today?
Let's find out.
Who are we after? Every day you wake up with a new man to kill. Yeah.
Who are we placing vengeance upon?
Well, let's see.
Spoiler for our podcast.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. I like. He's really studying this.
All right. Yeah, we're going for.
Start of this. Okay.
Philip Carlier.
We start
wanted for embezzlement.
We're going after Philip. All right.
Yep.
So while we're hunting Philip, is that Philip right there?
Yep, that's Phil.
Okay.
Philly.
All right. While we're hunting this Philip man, we're going to discuss some things that we have been ingesting into our.
I mean, both work if
it's true.
Both taking it both in.
Imbibing and ingesting into our lives.
I chug film and I eat video games.
Yep.
But before we go take and find this man for profit, how are you guys?
You know what? I'm doing all right.
Getting good grades.
Yep, I got 2 B+, and I feel pretty good.
I'm a good C student, so
C cup student.
Mr. Philip
Yeah, yes.
Collier.
Like you see. A
Oh,
couple
wow.
of
I know where to start with this one. I remember
Whoa,
when
this
his
is like
poster
cowboys
first went up.
hallucinating.
We get a full-blown
Yeah.
story.
Mannered, they
Yeah.
said.
There's some
Well,
stuff going on
they
in
all
this.
are, until they
this
Oh yeah,
ain't.
this man means to be brought to justice for sure.
Yeah, he's a
But
real
none of
douchebag.
us could
Real
find
rootin'
him.
tootin'.
It sounds like they spotted him in the swamps.
It's been, yeah.
If
There's
that's
been a
where
lot of
he's
stuff
been,
I've
on the
taken
run
in this
all
week,
this
from
time,
film to shows
God
to
help
video
him.
games,
Ain't
and
much in the way of
I'm
company
really
out
excited
there,
to talk about
or
those
much
things.
that won't try and eat you or
By golly,
put
the,
you on a pipe.
I'm trying to take in this
Got to ask what years
this
of
narrative.
life might have done to
Oh,
his
yeah, I don't even
mind.
know what's going on. I just know there's a wild-looking caveman that we're about to go.
Oh, we're back in Saint Denis, it looks like, or in the swamps.
Yep, we're nearby. So this guy's a pesky one. I got killed the last time I tried to get him, but now I got a posse.
That's right.
that's the moral of the story. Now I got a posse.
Now we gotta.
So you
Yep.
already know that, given why you're here.
How I
Have
do
you
it.
guys, been like watching anything fun or playing anything good?
So, and as a matter of fact, I have. Just actually finished the newest episode of Rings of Power. Have any of you guys actually been watching this?
No, I haven't watched any of it. No.
Oh man.
No.
I will admit that it actually starts off a little bit slow. I don't like talking over this man.
Right?
This is the current Lord of the Rings show that is based off the appendices of the book. Wow.
Gandalf's appendix.
Yep, his appendix was removed.
Okay. Was it
Is that a big owl?
Yeah, you're gonna be looking. The dude will just pop out of nowhere, and you're gonna try to get him. He pops out of smoke. You're hallucinating.
This is gonna make talking about things difficult.
Yeah. You know what? Let's figure it out.
So I will admit that like the first few episodes of Rings of Power absolutely start off pretty show, but it's high fantasy, and I feel like if you're going to dedicate to high fantasy, then like in order to do it right, you kind of have to really do world building, and that's absolutely God. I got hacked by a machete.
So did I, right at the same time. Yeah, the trick is just to be looking
Vigilant.
out for him, like spin in circles or something.
Yeah,
and you'll see
basically
his
all I'm
smoke
doing.
pop up.
So far.
And so yeah, but holy crap, where that show is now is incredible. I failed. I'm out of lives.
Yeah, well, we'll try again. I might be able to skip cutscenes this time.
That'd be sweet.
So I absolutely cannot recommend this show enough. It is so absolutely gorgeous. I have never actually watched a show that is more gorgeous than this, and it shows. Like
Production value.
it is tied as the most expensive thing ever created with Avengers Endgame, and it shows. Like every little thing just appears.
Yes.
I want an anime girlfriend. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. You've joined us in the middle of a podcast that we're recording while we attempt to get through some Red Dead Redemption. So thank you for that follow. Appreciate you. But yeah, I can't recommend this show enough. Every little thing, something that is used for a single scene, just has so much. You guys can't hear the music, can you? Okay, my follow alert prompt goes off.
Okay.
So yeah, every little thing just has the utmost care and detail placed on it, and it could be something that's used for one scene and then never seen again, but like it just looks gorgeous and better than anything I've ever watched. Like we'll get into you know, She-Hulk a little bit more as that's also wrapping up, but like I truly feel that like a good chunk of the visuals and CGI in She-Hulk seems like it's like either rushed or like barely completed in time for it to come out. God, I'm dead again.
Yeah, this is maybe a little too hard to do during a conversation. So we'll go back to the real world after this.
Whereas things seemed either rush or part like just barely finished by the time the show airs. Like
Sure.
everything in Rings of Power just looks so finely crafted, and just the utmost care is placed in it. So I can't recommend the show enough. I must watch for anybody who remotely enjoys fantasy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. That's one I might end up waiting till it's out, since I'm sort of...
Next week is the final episode, so yeah,
good,
perfect
okay.
timing.
Sorry I died.
Oh well, we'll do something else.
Okay.
Yes, I definitely want you guys to watch it and like report back on your findings, because like I think it's utterly amazing.
And so
I
full
understand
disclosure
that there are black elves in this, and I can't compute.
Yeah, I exited with the posse, so hopefully we go back to the mate.
About, not black elves in Red Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The black elves in Rings of Power. I understand some people are contentious about fantasy characters needing to be of a particular race.
Yeah, when the show first dropped, that was heavily like the bullshit behind it, and I hate that stuff takes the forefront to like the quality of the show.
The actual quality,
yeah. I absolutely hate that, because what you get with Rings of Power is something that is just so well crafted, and it's just a shame that it has to get muddied down with bullshit like that, you know?
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I will. Full disclosure, I probably won't watch it. I've never really been a fantasy person.
That's fair.
But
it's worth. I will say this: like, tune in to even like the beginning of this week's episode, and just look at how gorgeous the first shots of the episode.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. I mean,
just give it a look and see like the type of like production that you're dealing with, like that, like it's on the screen, you know. Like, I think it's worth looking at for that alone, you know.
Right.
Yeah. No, and I can definitely appreciate it. I've seen the Lord of the Rings films, and appreciate them, you know. But it's just not my genre. I've never seen anything fantasy that I would put like high on my list of things I like.
Sure.
I do like Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, and maybe Princess Bride's a good one. But those are more for kind of their era and why, you know, just
sure,
liking them.
Yeah, this is very much high fantasy, you know.
Yeah. Whoa.
And if it's not your thing, then yeah, this probably won't be your thing. But like, it's definitely worth like just scrubbing through an episode. Scrub through last episode. Like, so much cool shit happens in that episode. And then just like, then you'd be like, okay, now like I see. Yes, it's definitely. I see where the $1 billion budget went. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I definitely. I don't mind the idea of doing that, because regardless of whether I like, you know, a genre, I do really appreciate, you know, well crafted, like big ideas on screen.
Yeah.
Something about, I think, watching something with high production value in general is always really fun.
It's a big ass fish you got there.
Is
that a carp?
I think it's a catfish.
Catfish, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, catfish. That's what I meant.
I just shot that myself right after the damn alligator.
And you're taking it upon yourself to carry it for him?
Yep, we're gonna go. This is just who I am now.
Let's see if this town has a place to put the fish.
That is one thing. I've been seeking that town in my real life. The town to take the fish. So yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying that if you do enjoy fantasy, this is a must-watch. And even if you're not, like, just even like giving an episode a whirl and scrubbing through it just to admire what it's putting out there is definitely.
I'm excited even just for the fidelity. Sometimes, you know, like, it might not sell me in the long run, but like, I'm sure I'll like it.
Yeah.
I am picky with fantasy as well. But as a whole, I like the Lord of the Rings films. The Hobbit movies, I feel, did not need to be.
They missed the mark for me for sure.
As they were, yeah. And they looked great, but also it was like, look, The Hobbit is like a 70-page book. Like you could probably.
They did it's completely backwards. They make The Hobbit, which is a single book, 3 films, and then they take Lord of the Rings, which is 3 separate books and like a lot of content, and then condense them down to 3 films. And I'm just like, other way around should it, like the other Hobbit could have been like even two movies would have been pushing it. Oh God.
I would have been fine with it as a single 3-hour movie because I was fine with it as like a single hour-and-a-half cartoon film when I was young. You know.
That Bakshi film, yeah.
I understand, yeah, like the exposition, and you want to like throw a little bit more out there, get some continuity with Peter Jackson's world. But nonetheless, you know, and I still appreciate just again like the fidelity of them, and
sure,
with the show alone, you know, I'd be fine watching just a show that looks great. You know, I'm excited for that. Speaking of shows that might not look quite as great, but I'm still really enjoying, I really like She-Hulk.
Let's talk about She-Hulk.
We had discussed how, Kellen, you were sort of losing steam with it a little bit.
Yeah.
But did both of you fellas watch the last episode?
I did. I'm all caught up with it.
How are you feeling about the recent one?
I thought the recent episode was amazing. It was fantastic. I still feel that the show is a little overlong, like in terms of its episodes, because I feel like the episode right before this is almost worthless. Like it can be thrown out and still be. The series can be a little tighter, and you know, just 9 episodes for a season. Like, how do they exactly like decide what shows are going to be what length? They're like, this series is going to be 6 episodes, while this one's going to be 12, but this one's going to be 9, and I'm just like. Yeah. Even if they took the last episode, the not this last episode, but the previous episode out, like, and made the series 8 episodes, like, I think it would have been better. But and I'm ready for it to wrap up. But this last episode was by far the best episode that has been. Unfortunately, some things were spoiled for me, but it was still so exciting to see it unfold. And I did not have the very intro character, the character that we see at the very beginning, spoiled from me. And that was maybe my most favorite thing. Because I have a Marvel Legend of that very obscure character. And to see him on the big screen, or on the screen, realized in a show, what the hell, was so satisfying.
For them to be able to sort of allow those kinds of things and like to dig deep and say, like, you know, for fans, like, you know, we're listening, we're, you know, like, they're not going to make a show of this character specifically, but it's like fun Easter eggs and homages and nods to like the deeper Marvel universe.
Yeah. And I've been hearing that, well, I don't know if it was wagon theft. Oh.
That was my fault. I
But the thing is, I didn't get wagon theft, and like you had already removed the man from the wagon, and the wagon theft didn't happen until like he was long after it. So I'm gonna follow you on a wagon. Yes, it should have been public.
Public domain in the West is literally the moment you walk away from anything because the laws were so just unpolished.
How do I slow things down in this game?
What do you mean?
I forget how to slow down my horses that I just crushed. That I just crushed with my wagon.
Whoops! Oh boy, poor guys. Oh no.
Oh, the black one. Oh, the black one's still. Nope.
Oh
boy.
We lost it's brown one. We lost the brown one.
All right, goodbye.
But the white one's good.
Lost. It's like we misplaced this thing. Did you check under the wagon?
He's like.
Oh God! Is he? He just got shook.
Yeah, the dust was flying out of his neck.
I don't know. Maybe there's a.
You can capture him.
Maybe there's a chance.
Yeah, we can take him back.
Oh no! I think he broke his neck trying to get up.
Yeah,
He looks
well,
like
horses, man. What are you gonna do?
That's sad. You think he'll want this fish?
I'm very glad that you're carrying this fish around, trying to offer it to people.
This is who I am.
I'm gonna follow you and see who we can give this fish to.
Yeah, let's find out who deserves the fish.
So yeah, like this last episode was rip roaring fun, great. But as a show, I'm ready for it to end.
Okay, so next week, ideally, there's gonna be. Do you think it'll be a satisfactory ending for you?
I'm hoping.
I think they definitely ended it in a spot that made me excited for what is gonna come next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll see, but yeah, no, I like it. I do. It's weird, man, because like when I worked in TV, a season of a show was like, ow, a season of a show was like 20 to 24 episodes, and it was like, and we're talking hour-long episodes,
like the show 24.
Yeah.
Well, the show literally had 24 episodes per season,
Mind-blowing.
and it is weird to even think about that in the context of nowadays, where most shows are in the single digits of episodes per season.
Yeah, but I mean, those shows were very like story of the week. Here's the thing. Whereas we're now telling like a story throughout an entire season. Yeah. You know,
well,
and I think.
Well, I do think of the show 24 because I didn't start watching it until maybe 5 years ago, at the recommendation of a friend, and he pitched the idea to me, and I thought it sounded really cool, Chris Sutherland. And then when I started watching it, and I was like, holy crap, like this literally takes place over like an actual day, and I understood the concept, but I think I felt like I maybe wasn't actually prepared for it to be like 24 episodes a season, and I was like, this is a huge story to tell something that takes place over the course of one day.
Yeah.
Like, it is a phenomenally bizarre idea, but also extremely cool. I ended up really liking that show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I mean, there was a period in the 2000s where shows really were. I mean, it really started. There were some shows all the way back to the 80s that were like that weren't episodic, but the 2000s, I feel like, were when they really were like, let's make the arc the season, and
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, well, Twin Peaks is a great example. Like the whole show is the arc, and then of course there's Lost, Alias, 24, of course, naming all the J.J. Abrams shows, which, I mean, that's one of the shows I worked on, was one of his shows. And I worked on the show Heroes, like that was very season arc based, and they managed to make it work, like, for what it's worth. I think a lot of it too was that there were a lot of characters, so you would have several episodes dedicated to different core central characters, so it's a little different than like the more, especially Marvel, where it's like very single character oriented.
Well, so what do you prefer for your storytelling? If you had to choose sort of like a style, like what sort of works?
I like I like season arcs. Like, I actually prefer shows not to be not to wrap up in an episode. There are some episodic shows I like
yeah, of course, it depends on the show, honestly. Like, there's some, yeah. I don't need my Family Guy, like, being
comedies. Yeah, comedies, with the exception of Ted Lasso, most comedies, I really
even that is like, yeah, it has a hierarching like story that's happening, but like a lot of those stories, there's some self-containment in there.
Yeah. And I think, especially with a feel-good show, it's nice for things to wrap up within an episode, because you're trying to kind of feel the resolution, and not be kind of thrown off by having.
Oh no! Pick up the fish.
It's mine.
Did you get just like discouraged about carrying this fish while also dodging my bullets, that you just like you couldn't hold it anymore?
I was like, this is too much for me to
I
handle.
came to this hideout just to see what it was.
I'm gonna go into this bog.
But I agree. I actually agree. I feel very much like a television major arc. is a really fun way to sort of wrap up, and each season sort of feels self-contained and sort of like what's the big conflict. And
Yeah, I do like it.
Yeah, when I say watch Breaking Bad, and I go, man, season 4 like had this incredible sort of development and finish, and season 2 of Twin Peaks was like this really crazy sort of season from start to finish. Um, or Dexter season 4 is probably still my favorite as well of like the whole series. So it's fun to sort of identify each series as like or each season as the sum of its parts.
Sure. I think I tend to like the overarching story, but if it feels like it's starting to run a little long for me, then I exit pretty quick.
That's fair. So what about like say the Adventures of Batman and Robin, the animated series, which are generally self-contained, but also some episodes, for being like 22-minute cartoons, feel like freaking full-length movie quality episodes.
Like from the one that went off from the animated series, because I'm actually rewatching the animated series right now.
Yeah, I don't remember what season it's in. I bought the Blu-ray box set. It's the one with like basically like Mr. Freeze's story, and it's just.
Oh yeah, the Heart of.
Yeah.
Actually, that was one episode. Are you talking about Batman the Animated Series, or that episode actually won like a big prestigious award, like big prestigious television award. For its writing.
Alone is just incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it just like, and see that's I think that's a testament to why we don't need the big bloating in these things. You can be very precise and tell a very coherent story from start to finish in a short amount of time. And so like, I think that's a true testament to like keeping things crisp and precise and not too not. Yes.
Well, I think that also the latest episode of She-Hulk very much does the same thing, where we have some prior establishment of some things, but I feel like as a whole, it really stands alone, absolutely fine, and is great the entire way through.
What did that episode win? Also, I would like to say, a man named Say6Sace just subscribed to my channel, and I want to thank that man for doing that. I very much appreciate and love Say6Sace, and by golly, I am mighty, mighty thankful for that. So thank you, Say6Sace.
This is it. The fish is
whoever that guy is.
There we go. Goodbye. Good night. Good night, my friend.
That microphone picks up a lot of keyboard.
Yeah, it won a full-blown Emmy
really
award.
Loudly. Kellen, be careful with that.
What happened?
The keyboard is extremely loud.
It is right next to my.
Like there are horses just galloping through my living room.
It's just, it's Foley for the game.
Yeah,
That's right.
I apologize, but yes, that episode won a full-on Emmy award. So.
Wow.
That's impressive. Yeah, it's great. What is the porn award? Like, is it like a glass dildo or like best porn star award?
I don't know, probably.
The Rambone.
The Rambone. Could you submit like Batman and Robin to that, and they just go, "Oh yeah, there's a scene where Batman's ass looks super juicy, so he wins this award."
Yeah. He did.
Ass award.
The ass award, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, my hat fell off.
I guess fine. Is there more that we should say? I guess we could talk more about She-Hulk once it wraps up next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'd like to do a little spoiler country on that one.
Let's do it
afterwards. But for now, I think let's everyone just watch it. I do agree that the last episode for me, it just felt like there were two things that happened to me with that episode, and I'm going to be vague with it, but. One, Kellen, you're right. It did feel a little unnecessary. I was like, I don't know.
Are you talking about the one previous to this one?
Yeah, but the previous episode that was.
Yeah.
And the other thing that hit me was like, okay, this could be a really big setup for something I don't want to see happen. And
interesting.
And I'll talk about it more once we can spoil it. But it was just feeling like, there was a possibility of someone. basically double crossing, and I felt really uneasy about that because I was like, this is not the tone of this show.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
I
see what
really
you're saying.
don't want to see that. Like I don't mind that like this most recent episode ended on a very tense note, but it was great.
Yeah.
It fit the episode, and it fit kind of the motivation of She-Hulk, and also sort of the whole show has been kind of a testament to Jen's hesitance to leverage She-Hulk, because she just wants to be a regular person, and I can appreciate that the show sort of follows the ethos of a person trying to do that. This is like, there's like bad guys in this old vacated town.
Oh, this is perfect. Let's go there.
Right.
Yeah, that episode before this previous one honestly just felt like a troll for troll's sakes, because there's one episode, a couple episodes prior to that, where we're left on a cliffhanger on wanting to see something very particular, and then they make us wait an episode, and almost felt like, oh, you thought it was going to be this week since we didn't do it last week? Well, no, we're not going to do it this week either, but here's also this like this plot point that really has nothing to do with the show either, so like, just not this week either. Surprise, keep waiting. And I'm just like, come on. But yeah, we should definitely do a Spoiler Town, take it down to Spoiler Town next week. But I did also watch another thing, Marvel, which was Werewolf by Night. Did anybody else watch this?
No, I ended up watching Hellraiser last night instead.
Which I do want to hear about, but
I am very excited to
oh my goodness, it is. We should definitely talk about it once you guys watch it and save this man, or we could kill him.
I think we should.
The choice. Okay. I love that anybody listening to just the audio version of this is just getting random Western sound effects.
I guess we gotta lead this guy to a drop off.
Yes, we should talk about it, but in the interim, I will just say that Werewolf by Night is extremely satisfying, a hell of a lot of fun, and we get introduced to some pretty awesome characters that a lot of people may not even know, but just know that they are freaking awesome characters. It's and they're all part of their kind of like, well, I wouldn't say all of them. We do meet, I mean, it's no spoiler because she's like the main character of the show, Elsa Bloodstone. And she is part of, she's awesome. But like a lot of them that we do get to know are so Marvel has this whole side of it too that is like, it has its horror trope side, and we're starting to pull back the veil on that and get into that. So there are some characters that we get that I wanted to say anything that are nested heavily into the Marvel horror genre, and it's very satisfying. And I think it does a very good job of staying true and authentic to a classic horror movie vibe.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll watch that tonight. Actually, no, I'm not going to.
Did you say that? Did you simply say that just to make me sad?
No.
You're like, maybe I'll watch it, but like second thought, nah, Kellen, F you.
Yeah, it was certainly not out of like lack of interest suddenly, where within moments I decided it was a piece of shit. Just from the way you described it. No. It's. I'm in the middle of playing Tunic right now. I downloaded this game like a week and a half ago. And it is.
Can we talk games in a moment? I do want to talk one more thing. Watching.
Okay.
Are you deep diving into Tunic?
I will. I'll deep dive into Tunic very shortly once we do this.
Because there's one more distinct thing I want to touch upon before we switch.
Werewolf until I finish Tunic, but yes, let's continue.
Okay. Definitely watch Werewolf by Night when you get a chance. It's very fun, and it's shoot this cow because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh god, its legs gave out on it.
Yeah, I'm going too fast.
But yeah, perfect thing for Halloween season.
Being a cow seems like the most cowardly thing you could do.
Yep. That's what they call it, coward.
Oh, it's a cow word.
Yep.
Mission passed. I don't know what we did, but we.
Hey
guys,
yeah.
Say 6 accomplished a mission for us. This is not without. I even got a freaking achievement for it. So we all this has been successful. We can quit now.
I'm dumping this cow skin in the fire.
It.
So
that's our podcast. See you later.
Still lost.
Yeah.
Still lost my hat.
So there's one more distinct thing that I do want to talk about that I watched.
Okay, what'd you watch?
And it's something that you watched a few weeks ago, and kind of touched upon. And so I went and I watched it.
Yeah.
And you know how when Pasquale talked about how we undersold Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
You did that for this movie. You talked about if it's something that's on, you can go ahead and you can watch it. It's good, but no, this movie it could very well end up on my favorite movies of the year list. I thought it was that good. And it was Emily the Criminal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Holy smokes. I just watched that movie and it just was it is what it is. And I walked away from that movie being this movie was incredible. I learned that Audrey Plaza was a executive producer on it. And so I feel and she's got range, but I feel we really do see that here. And man, it's just God, this movie had moments where I genuinely felt for her character. I think what it does and does so well is portray why somebody would realistically choose to go into this life in our society.
Sure.
We get the traditional stories of the Scarfaces where they glorify going into the criminal lifestyle, and those never appeal to me. But this movie goes into why it would happen and how stacked the cards are against middle class people in our society. Healthcare, student loans, just things that are blatant things that are. She goes. I'm going to talk about a scene. I guess it maybe is kind of spoilery, but it illustrates so beautifully why I adore this movie. And Emily goes in. Her friend gets her a job, what would seemingly be a job at her upscale place of employment. I don't want to give it away, but she gets there to find out that it's just an internship and that she has to work for free for X amount of however long. And then, as this movie does many other times, it has me cheering at how Emily just reacts to that situation where she's you realize, just very bluntly, it puts the woman in her place on how fucked up requiring or expecting a human being to work for free for 40 hours a week for no pay, and how asinine that really is. And it's so much of that and done well that I just walked away from this movie just being God, there were, I said, there were moments where I was cheering for her, but it also doesn't glorify her choosing to go into this lifestyle I feel so many of these type of movies do. You know what I mean? So I just think it was a very well done movie.
Yeah, and a commentary on the system being broken.
Yeah.
The reason people turn to sinister or odious behavior is because it's desperation.
Right.
You know, feeling like you are unwelcome in a society that exploits you.
Yep.
and the movie handles it extraordinarily well.
Yeah, there's moments where she stands up for herself that had me cheering, and I was just like, God, I want to do that. And yeah, I can't recommend this movie enough. Like, ugh.
That's fair. That's good. Yeah, I guess I did undersell it. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. I have to watch it again because I think when I was watching it, I'll be honest, I was probably partly like distracted, also doing something else. I think I was working on something on my computer.
Like playing an open world adventure game simultaneously.
Yeah, I was playing Red Dead. Yeah, in a different room. So yeah, it's hard for me to totally focus on the film.
Yeah, I really adore the movie, and Pasquale, I do think it's worth just checking out for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on. I actually turned on the TV right now just so that I can put it up.
Just watch Emily the Criminal right now.
I'm just gonna watch it.
Are you still gonna wander around in this open world game and record?
3 different things at the same time.
I'm gonna watch it while I do it. I actually
the ADHD podcast.
Yeah. I did get a treasure map in the game.
Oh shoot! Let's do that. Hey, let's meet up, boys.
Hold on.
All right, I'm at the train station. You guys were just there a minute ago.
Okay.
I do have
My horse and then
2 treasure maps. So
I've just been following Gomez Adams, but he dropped the catfish, which is really sad.
Yeah, well, I deposited it into a house. I don't think you were.
Yeah,
paying
we put it in.
Oh, you gave it to the deserving people. But basically, that's what I've been watching, and I think, yeah,
Okay.
very fun things.
Yeah, other than She-Hulk, I don't know if I've been watching any shows. I did watch Hellraiser the other night. We can go into that another time when everybody's seen it.
You should go into it, because I'm going to tell you I'm probably not going to watch Hellraiser.
Fall asleep.
Yeah.
Well, and let me get into why I can't, because I know you guys know the story.
Yeah.
But
we need to know.
It's not because, like, I don't think the movie's going to be... I think the movie's going to be bad. It really is a stupid, selfish reason, and it's because ever since, like, the year 2010, or even maybe a little slightly before, I started this trend for the month of October where I have either put on Hellraiser 1 or Hellraiser 2 right before bedtime, and that is what I fall asleep to for every single night for the month of October.
Yep.
And I have
Hellraiser, you're breaking the tradition.
So I legitimately, those 2 movies put me to sleep every single time within 10 minutes. So I have never actually seen Hellraiser 1 or 2 consciously, aside from the first 10 minutes of the films. And Hellraiser 2 starts off with like a big hefty recap of Hellraiser 1. So like I just know like Hellraiser 1.
Movies get that. It's always really fun when the first half of the film is, the first half of the second film is just the first film.
It's like it's pushing on like 5 to 10 minutes of the recap, you know?
Yeah.
And so I have subconsciously somewhere in the depths of my mind, like I know those 2 movies better than probably any other movie I've ever seen, but I can't recall any of it. And so for that selfish reason alone, I'm probably not going to watch the new Hellraiser unless it's to put it on to fall asleep to.
Because you don't want to break the code.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's something that's very personal to me, and it's very stupid, but like at this point in time, I'm kind of okay with never actually seeing Hellraiser and it being my thing that like I only know it subconsciously.
It'll be on your epitaph.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
So you guys should go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, because when I mentioned watching the new one last night, your comment was just Pavlov's bell, and it's like
because it legitimately like
looking at it,
it kind of gave me the sleepies.
just knowing that I watched it, you got tired.
Yes.
Yep.
That's good. Oh, I'm just running in a crouch while my horse follows me.
I'm just watching you.
More efficiently. Come here, Kellen.
Okay. Thanks for inviting me.
Come here, baby. All right.
All right, so Hellraiser. How was it? It's a little bit different spin, right?
So Pasquale is probably actually even more familiar with the original Hellraiser like series. I've watched them. I'm not as
If you
familiar
unlock
with
the
them
if you unlock the depths of my psyche, I am very much an expert on it, but I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I tell you all about what it makes you feel mentally on a different plane. All I can say is that there are benefits to this movie in general, where, in terms of a presentation standpoint, it checked all the boxes for me, from visual and special effects to the mood. Oftentimes, a lot of the lighting and the atmosphere really actually gave me some of the best tonality that I've actually seen in a horror movie in a very long time. Visually, it was just super good. It had some really great, uncomfortable, gory, scenes that were super, super well presented. And I liked the characters. I liked the progression. I really liked sort of like the twist and the stakes in the game. I'll have Pasquale probably go a little bit more into it than me. But for somebody who's like sort of on the fringe of Hellraiser in general, I thought it was just a really good horror film that I haven't felt like that in a long time.
Yeah, I think it's always hard with horror because everyone kind of has different ideas of like what makes a good horror movie, and horror kind of is, I would say, historically kind of my main genre that I follow. And so like I've seen, actually probably not all of the Hellraisers, but all the classic ones, from the 80s to 90s. And I think there have been newer ones I haven't seen. And Doug Bradley, the guy who plays Pinhead in those movies, is great. Pinhead is a great character. He's, this sadistic, kind of, and masochistic character who is, really, really just well delivered in that era. But the thing about Hellraiser that's tough, especially when it comes to just like continuing a story, is that, ostensibly the same set of conditions happen every single time. And, it's all about someone unlocking the configurations of what is it, Lamar, or I have it up somewhere on here. It's the puzzle, though. It's they call it the lament configuration when it's in the square, and the puzzle is called I can't remember. I can't pull it up right now. Lamarchon configuration. So anyway.
Can I interject just really quick? It reminds me of like a meme, and I can't like really quote the meme accurately, but it was like something like, I really want to get into bondage terror, but this puzzle is really hard.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And he's just struggling with the box.
Yep. And that's pretty much like the conceit of the Hellraiser movies in general. But it's interesting though. I really I liked it a lot. So Hellraiser, if people aren't familiar, so Clive Barker, he's a pretty prolific horror and fantasy writer, and he wrote a novella called The Hellbound Heart. And this is in the early 80s, and that is what Hellraiser is based on. And the first Hellraiser movie, the original is fairly closely related to it in terms of it being kind of, the theme of it is real similar, and what happens in it is pretty similar. But I will say that this movie captured the feeling of it better, even though it's a slightly different story. And I really think that they did a great job with it. I've seen a lot of naysaying about it for various reasons, like not liking the main character. It's like, well, you don't have to know the Hellbound Heart to know that the first Hellraiser was not predicated on liking anybody. In fact, everyone's kind of awful in it. and that's sort of
there's
the
a bunch of rich, shitty white people, isn't it? Like that, just like
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's you know, in the original one, it's you know, it's just a lady who you know basically, I mean, it's a weird. The movie is really weird. Because it's like the there's sort of this like zombified version of her lover in the attic, and she's using the puzzle to basically uh rebirth him to human form. And and you know, it's fine, but I actually found the stakes of this one to be a lot more believable because it's a woman and her sibling, and her sibling gets taken by the box. And I find it, you know, to make a little more sense why she would go through the trouble of doing all of that stuff, and going through the configurations of the puzzle. um I think it really makes more sense in this context, and it made me feel like I wanted to see things kind of resolve, and you know, come to the point she was trying to get to. So
Yeah.
in my opinion, they did a great job with that, and it was fun. And you know, I think it was just a well kind of delivered horror story. I mean, it just was a good horror movie.
I thought so too. I really think there's some scenes that visually captured, I don't know, something that I hadn't seen or felt in a long time in any film, and
Yeah.
a lot of practical effects that were extraordinarily well done. A lot of great Cenobite design, you know. And I was
Yeah,
sort of wondering,
agree.
like, so what if, what if the whole thing behind Hellraiser was not in so much as like it was like this creepy, you know, puzzle like with like, you know, these devil figures from wherever, but it was really just a bunch of goth kids with very wealthy parents, and that's they were just able to convince people to do terrible things,
Yeah.
and that's all they are. Is just they've got expensive costuming,
Yeah.
and then they just it's something a Saints Row gang.
Yep. That's whoa, these guys just started.
Or a Red Dead posse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just a bunch of cowboys that dress up as gothic kids.
Oh, you're not Sace.
No. Yeah, that's Siete.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, there's a wild horse.
Oh, I killed him. Shot him right in the chest.
Bunch of guys over here trying to kill us.
Uh-oh. Let's go.
I got him.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what they
grab that.
wanted. I wasn't doing anything.
Where are they at? Oh, I hear the gunfire. I hear the gunfire. Yeah, they ran up on me. I thought it was you, and I wasn't going to shoot you.
No, I was just cruising around, minding my business.
Minding your biz?
I have an important job. I have to deposit this man.
Okay.
Like a fish?
Yeah, I'll run back to the house and put him on top of the
We
fish.
got a deposit of fish.
I had to kill this man's horse, and I didn't want to do it. We're just treasure hunting, right? Maybe are we on a hunt for a treasure? Is that why are we getting close to it?
Yeah, we're in the range of it. Maybe that's
Okay.
what this is all about. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
probably. They're on the scent of the treasure too. Oh, the treasure was the gun. The treasure was the gunfight along the way.
Yeah, the treasure was the murder.
So Hellraiser, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up, and I think
I really enjoyed it.
yeah, I did too. And anyone naysaying, I mean, I guess, you know, horror is one of the worst genres to be into because it just has some of the most like critical people who like. Oh, I just got killed by a stranger.
Oh no!
Horror just has like the most like high demand fans for such a lowbrow genre, and it's
like, yeah, people feel like that they have to be like terrified 100% of the time,
Yeah.
otherwise it's like unworthy of their
well,
viewing.
even that, it's like I don't even know what you want, because it's like a lot of the movies that have the biggest cult followings aren't really scary. They're just they're just what they are, and they're very character driven or something. And it's like, you know, it's like it's not a Freddy movie, not a Jason movie, not a Michael Myers movie if it's not like this exact thing. And it just kind of, it's annoying to be a fan because nothing's ever good enough. And it's like,
Right.
Like, it's like, dude, we're into the campiest genre. Like, why are you so upset about this? And
With it being, I mean, a Halloween month, like, what are some of your favorite horror films? I want
So,
to continue that talk, but
I actually we should do an episode on top Halloween, but I will say that I forgot that yesterday I did go watch a showing at the theater of Trick or Treat, and I just adore that movie, man. It
that's
is
great. I love a good horror anthology.
Dude, it is just such a love letter to that too.
Yeah.
And it does it perfectly. It hits on all those anthology tropes. You know, the episodic, for those who may not know, the X amount of stories in one single movie or show based on it, the Tales of the Crypt, the Creep shows. And man, it's just such a love letter to the horror, and that type of horror, and it just does it so well.
Yeah, I agree. That's a fantastic film, and everyone who hasn't seen it, who likes horror movies, should definitely see it. It's right up there.
Trick or Treat.
Oh, Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
You said you would watch.
I'm very glad I got to see it in the theater.
Yeah, that's a great way. Horror in general is really fun in the theater.
Oh yeah.
It really adds to the atmosphere of it and just gives you a lot to.
We should maybe next week we should do our top horror movies.
Sure.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Let's plan on that for next week.
All right. So next week, be ready for a spooky episode, and this week's gonna be great. We're gonna be able to. So there's some weird parameters to our podcast publishing. Part of it is because we just do really long episodes. So I've had to. We have only so many hours of audio that it'll publish at once. I can, or within a month, that is, and I'm just trying to keep costs low by not moving to the next tier. So we will be actually releasing multiple episodes this week, including this one. So you'll have a lot to listen to, and
to look forward to.
Yeah, and our next one for sure, I will put that out in a prompt manner because it's very important to have spooky season represented during spooky season.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And
let's.
Forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You heard it here first. This is how it happens.
Yep.
The creation process as it unfolds.
Yeah, we do it all on the episode. We plan the next episode.
Should we play Undead Nightmare next week?
Oh, that's a fun game.
You play that online.
Can we?
Yeah, it is multiplayer.
Oh, I gotta dig that up. I'm sure.
I don't know to what capacity, but I know it did say, "Do you want to play?" Like there was an option for multiplayer.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'll take a look and see.
I have it on PS3.
Oh shoot, I have it on Xbox.
I think I may have it on that too. Like, or I could get it like whatever. But like, if we wanted to play Undead Nightmare and talk some spooky stuff, let's do that.
Sounds fun.
But unless anybody else has any things that they've been watching, we should move right on into the video games. Games.
I'm down. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah. I like video games, and so I actually can't wait to stop talking to you guys so I can go play a video game.
What is that video game?
So that video game that I mentioned about 20 minutes ago is one of my favorite games of this year so far, without question, and it's a little game called Tunic. You can play it on Xbox Game Pass, and it just hit the PS systems as well as the Switch not but about 2 weeks ago. And it is basically this incredible love letter to the Legend of Zelda series, but the way this game progresses, and like I actually got rehooked tonight because while I was waiting to do the podcast with you guys, I was killing some time by playing it, and I made progress in such a way that made me go, shit, this is why I love this game. I need to play more. I just don't have time right now. So, by being a Zelda-esque kind of game, you are literally a little fox with a green tunic and a sword, and you go exploring in this world. And I don't want to give away too much about like what makes the game so special, but as you play through the game, you find little pages on the ground that are pages of an instruction manual. and it is these pages that you find that actually sort of help you unlock and learn to progress through the game.
Oh.
And it is, it's very special the way it's crafted. There's a lot of really great little details. The controls are extremely good, extremely tight. There's a lot of accessibility options from like difficulty to invincibility adjustments, simply so you can play the game and just enjoy it. It's got charming music. It's got some really cool locations and boss fights and special weapons. And like I said, I don't want to say too much about it, but this game is very special. It's a very remarkable game, and it keeps surprising me with more stuff every time I play it. And I'm playing it on the Switch right now. I picked it up for like $25, and I absolutely don't want to stop. And I'm dreading the moment that it's done because I will be sad.
I'll check it out. I've heard some great things about this, and I do want to check it out for sure. And it is on Game Pass, so yeah, no excuse.
Not super long, and it's just a very tightly packaged game.
I will be, and I don't want to. I definitely do want to play Tunic. I've heard wonderful things about it. But you said Game Pass, and it reminded me of something else.
Oh shit! What?
That I'll go into
What?
once you're done with Tunic. And I haven't played it, so I'm going to say like I wanted to play it before this episode, but obviously just didn't do it. So I think by next episode I will for sure have at it because it is a spooky type game. And it is on Game Pass, and it's called Immortality. Have you guys heard of this game?
Immortality. No.
It is getting a lot of buzz. It's by Sam Barlow, who created Silent Hill Origins and Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
Okay.
And apparently it's like a lot of people are talking about it, and like it's supposed to be a pretty unique and incredible experience. And I do plan on playing that and talking about it next episode. So I don't know if you guys want to join. It's on Xbox Game Pass, or I don't. Is it? It's on Game Pass. Sorry, there's my keys again. Yeah, it is on Xbox Game Pass. I said that and I got scared. Maybe it was only on PC, but nope, it's on. Yeah, and I don't know why I hesitated because I downloaded it and everything. So.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cowboy is constantly slipping on my street.
I know.
Who is?
Pascal's Cowboy is constantly sliding. He's just running across rocks like he's doing like sick fucking skateboarding.
Where are you boys?
We're just looking for the treasure. I cheated.
We're just looking for the treasure.
I went on to the internet to look for possible locations where this treasure is because there are not a lot of context clues in this game.
Yeah, they give you a map that has not really too many like defining features.
This 16-acre
Here's 11 acres.
There was one distinct mission in this game where I was like, that is the most vague map I've ever seen in a video game, and so I had to look up that mission on the internet.
Yeah, so this one I did. There's several spots it could spawn, so there's still a little bit of searching. But yeah, so Sam Barlow is the guy who did a game called Her Story, which I played on PC, and it is a really interesting game.
I've heard that was good.
Yeah,
well,
it's really interesting and worth. I think it's. I don't know. I think it's only on PC, but might be on Xbox. Just a really interesting game. It's you're basically you go through footage of this woman. I don't even want to.
And you're kind of, from what I hear, you're sifting through video footage in Immortality.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like a similar thing. So her
sounds
story
like it. Sounds like it.
Is that you do go through video footage to sort of decipher clues and figure out.
Sounds very similar to Immortality.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Because I really liked Her Story, so I think that we're probably on the right track.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I'm interested to check those out.
Sweet.
All right.
Okay, so that's what you guys are playing.
Yeah. Other than that, like for me, it's just constantly the Marvel playlist. Finished Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 this week, So I'll be starting game number 53 tomorrow. Game number 53, I'm really dreading. It's it's X-Men and Spider-Man Arcade's Revenge for the Genesis.
Oh God.
That's a game.
But Ultimate Alliance 2 is a game that like I always felt like I gave short shrift to, because Ultimate Alliance is one of my absolute favorite Marvel games, and it's wonderful, and it is a Diablo-esque dungeon crawler in the Marvel universe. And it has some great moments, and Ultimate Alliance 2 didn't get me right out the door, and I kind of always just shoved it aside and called it a bad game. So I was really eager to get to it and give it another shot. And I feel like I was definitely a little hard on it, but it is also, again, having finished it, I don't feel it's nearly as good as Ultimate Alliance 1. Like, the memorable moments and the memorable things that you do in Ultimate Alliance 1 are just so well crafted, and this one is just, like, largely kind of unforgivable. Like, it loosely follows the Civil War storyline from the comics that went on to become Civil War. But, like, it halfway just kind of abandons that and becomes something different. And it's just really weird. And it's just, yeah. It's a fun play in that it is a dungeon crawler, but it's not nearly as good as... What is happening? I'm fading to black.
Uh-oh.
I'm dying. What? My screen was getting like I was having a stroke or something.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just if you're only gonna play one Ultimate Alliance, play Ultimate Alliance 1. And I do feel like the graphics like went backward from Ultimate Alliance 1. So
I remember like not much about the actual like story, because I at the time especially really wasn't into like a lot of Marvel lore. But I remember really enjoying like the team attacks.
yes, that is something that was very cool for sure.
Yeah.
But even those, like, you do them a few times and then you run through like the animations that they have, and then it's just kind of like the same thing over and over again.
I see.
I did find the treasure.
While you guys were roping pigs,
Yeah,
I was getting rich.
So.
Okay. I don't know where you are.
I'm just down in the river.
It's my boy down in the river.
Shall we get to our main review?
Main event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I've talked about Tunic, now that we've talked about Marvel, yeah.
Ocelot Gear, how you doing? Thanks for coming by and listening to our little podcast. We are free roaming around in Red Dead Redemption while we attempt to record Discrete Error. And so far, I'd say we're doing pretty good. We're not focused on too much in this game. We're mostly just roaming around. We're looking for a treasure that apparently 666 found. But yeah, we are just about to start our main review for the movie that we all watched. So thank you for coming on by. Apparently there was a long time commercial?
Hellraiser?
I'm not sure. But anyway, we watched a movie. What'd you guys think of? We watch here. Let me bring up.
No. Get on my horse, by the way.
All right. I threw a new waypoint on the map.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Just convene there.
Perfect. Talk about the movie over there.
You guys got me all self-conscious about my keyboard, so I had to mute while I brought up the IMDb page. Where are we going? I'm gonna get on your horse. Getting on your horse.
The mark on the map. We're finding another treasure.
Oh, so it didn't give a commercial. Interesting. So Ocelot Gear is basically just saying that like there was no commercial. Oh, but like you're a subscriber, so you shouldn't actually get commercials. That's part of the perks as being a subscriber, is you get to enjoy the content commercial free. So it's actually kind of weird that you ended up seeing a commercial.
Yeah.
A commercial for Discrete Error?
Maybe it was a commercial for our podcast. In that case, amazing.
Yeah. I'm glad someone made one.
The Coen brothers.
Yeah, directed by the Coen brothers. And BJ Novak.
We watched we watched a movie kind of you say Coen brothers and you say that.
I didn't even think about there as kind of a
But we watched Vengeance.
You really pushed for this one.
I actually, so a little backstory on this movie, Vengeance. I had been wanting to watch it for a good long while because a friend of mine actually did work on it as a content recorder, or did some AD work on it. And so this has been a movie that I had been wanting to watch for a while, and I watched this and Emily the Criminal on the same night. I was like, I finished Emily the Criminal. I was like, let's just keep it going. So I'm knocking out movies tonight, and started this one. It is directed by B.J. Novak. It stars B.J. Novak. It is written by B.J. Novak. And IMDb says, a writer from New York City attempts to solve the murder of a girl he hooked up with and travels down south to investigate the circumstances of her death and discover what happened to her. And so, yes, as you were saying, I pushed for it really hard one night after I watched it. And I'm genuinely impressed at how quickly you guys the call to arms came and you guys did this. Like I was expecting that like you'd be like, all right, we're gonna get on it, and like maybe in a week or two, we may like talk about it in passing. It was during an episode, but nope. Woke up the next day and you guys were like, yep, stayed up late and watched that movie, and I was like, holy shit, when things come together, sometimes things come together.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think I had tried watching it like a week before, and I think I fell asleep during it because I remember my response was, oh yeah, I tried watching it and I wasn't holding my interest. And I'm positive now I was thinking of something else because I remember.
Oh, so it wasn't even the same movie.
I don't think so. I think I was watching something else that didn't hold my attention because I remember trying to watch Vengeance and I fell asleep. Because I remember hearing certain things from the film in my ears, but I don't remember like any visuals to it. So I was like, oh yeah, I must have just fallen asleep watching this.
When I texted you guys and said, please watch this, and you responded that you watched it and you weren't liking it, it was the biggest blow to my... Like, spoiler for my thoughts on this movie. Obviously, yeah, I rally to get them to watch it. Like, I guess it's really comes as no surprise as I absolutely love this movie. I love this movie, and I was just, like, gutted to hear that you were like, yeah, I didn't like that movie, but I'll give it another shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the worst movie I've seen so far. I'll take it.
Yeah, sure. We'll do it. Whatever.
But anyway, I love this movie. I rallied for you guys to watch it. I want to hear about what you guys thought about this movie. So,
lead the way.
Sure. So this is a movie that I had. It was on my radar. Like I saw a couple. Actually, I saw a number of ads for it on my social media because social media knows everything about you, and it suggested, it just kept suggesting it to me. I don't know what information it used to assume that I would like the film, but it piqued my interest for two reasons. One being that it was filmed entirely here in New Mexico, and I just always like to watch movies that are filmed here. Just kind of, if nothing else, because like I have like a strong desire to support what we're doing here.
Sure.
And I want to make sure they continue to make these movies here. Sure. So to me, it's like, just from a support standpoint, I will watch basically anything made in New Mexico. But also it was interesting because I saw it was BJ Novak, and I don't think of him as like a serious filmmaker. I always kind of am like, that's the Office guy, and
you should watch The Premise.
Yeah. So I just never had like I had a very kind of comedic view of him. But anyway, so I was interested. And so I jumped right into it on your recommendation, Kellen, because it was something that I was aware of, but I just I hadn't been like prompted to see it yet. And
sure.
And that's just like the push I needed. So
let me say also too, like when I recommended this movie, it was already, I want to say, like pushing like 10:30, 11 or something. So it was already like very late at night. So
Yeah.
To hear that, like, I woke up and you guys watched it, I was like, damn.
Yeah, and that was the wild thing. I was like, well,
Santa Claused it, yeah.
I could go to bed, but like I could probably squeeze in a movie before bed, so I just like popped it on right away, and I will say that very few movies, because especially it's I guess I would call this kind of a black comedy slash drama.
Yeah.
It's definitely like we mentioned Coen Brothers. It's sort of in that spirit.
It does have some Coen-esque, Coen
Yeah, like
Brothers-esque.
it's sort of like when you think of Coen Brothers, it's like don't think "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," but think like maybe a cross between like Fargo and No Country for Old Men, where there is a very
With a
dark
little Big
undertone.
Lebowski.
Yeah, sure. And so like it has some really funny things. Like the characters, there's some sort of lightheartedness and funniness about characters in it. There's also a very but there's like a deep serious story within it, which I thought was really cool. And really I just was I was riveted by it. Like I thought it was just such a good character driven kind of like story that sort of unfolds. It's a character who's a writer, and he decides he's going to record kind of a podcast around the disappearance of this girl, or not disappearance, the death of this girl, who was a person that he had hooked up with previously, and
Killed you.
What's
Sorry.
no worries. And so yeah, it was just really, I don't know, like it was really cool and very unique in being just such a kind of I mean, again, it has that sort of Cohen flavor to it, but it's just a really cool idea, sort of. It pokes a little fun at sort of that like big city podcaster kind of like outside eye that you get from podcasts like Serial and those true crime podcasts. And it does a really good job of sort of like not only sort of parodying that, but also kind of like talking about the real world kind of consequences of like being
I think
invested for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and we can go more into this in spoilers, but I was gonna say it parodies. You bringing that up is good because I was gonna say there's parody on like the small town living as well. So it's very true.
Yeah,
like
sure.
it's parody of both sides, and I think that's a huge commentary on the movie in general. That I think should be addressed more in spoilers. But yeah, I think it's got good parody of all walks of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like derail.
Oh no, I think I've said pretty much what I need to say in my preamble, and I have a lot to say in spoiler country though.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. And so this was fun too because Pasquale, I do highly recommend checking out the premise because it shows Vijay Novak does have this really interesting ability to tell comedic and serious stories simultaneously. In that show,
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Oh no!
some are sort of one or the other. But this movie felt very sort of him through and through. After having watched the premise, it sort of made sense that it's almost like he was preparing for this movie by making that series. There's a lot of really uncomfortable moments, which I really enjoy because that's a very kind of dry humor presentation. And so, yeah, the comedy element of it actually did draw me in quite a bit. But you get a lot of really well-developed characters. There's not too many to be overwhelming. It's a very sort of like tightly told story. And each character starts getting more and more development and well-developed, I would say, just as it goes on. And from start to finish, I felt that we got really good development, a great climax, and I felt satisfied. I don't think I feel necessarily satisfied watching every film. Sometimes I'm kind of like, cool, that was fine, and I'm just, you know, like it works. But this one I feel actually was paced well enough with its development in story concept and final execution. Though, and we'll get into this also in Spoiler Lake. I gotta say, I felt that I guessed the ending pretty easily.
I was gonna say I solved the mystery almost immediately.
Yeah.
But for me it was more than that. It wasn't really about that. Like, sure, I was like, it's blatantly obvious. I was like, yes, okay. And then when it unfolded, I was like, okay, because wow, good jumps. Yes, it is. I will agree with that. It was blatantly clear what was happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
even so, it was done so well.
And I guess not necessarily clear what was happening, but once it was clear what was happening, it was easy for me to connect the dots. That's how I should put it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you enjoyed it, you said?
Yeah, I thought it was great. By the time I was finished with the movie, I just thought, dang it, like, they done a good job.
They done a good job, as they'd say in the West. Am I supposed to go to the area?
Yeah, I just accepted a
yeah, and like I said, I love this movie. It was really something because, like, that week, I think, like, I had come off of this She-Hulk episode that really let me down, and I had just watched The Munsters, and I was like, I'm gonna talk shit about that movie, and I was like, I'm going into this week's Disc Read Era, and I'm just gonna talk massive shit about everything, and like, I ended up watching Emily the Criminal, and I was like, well, I've got something to praise, and then I was like, let's just continue it because.
Just rammed into us. That is insanity.
And then I was just off the high of Emily the Criminal. I was like, let's continue. I've heard good things about this movie. And again, like, it's weird because 2 movies in one night that could very easily both be in my top of the movie of the year list. Like, I think this movie could also be in that pantheon of my favorite movies of the year, you know. Because yes, I agree with everything that you guys have said. And I echo it. This movie is an episode of The Premise, combined with Only Murders in the Building, which I absolutely adore, and then also Son-in-Law.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a really good.
That's a good one.
And like, who would have thunk that those 3 things together are exactly what I want? Oh god, let's kill these guys and then go into Spoiler Lake.
Yeah. We're gonna kill some guys while we're talking, speaking of killing.
But like, if those 3 things interest you, or you like those 3 things, check out Vengeance. Or if you don't know what those 3 things are, still check out Vengeance, because I can't give enough praise. The movie, like, has really heartfelt messages that, like, brought me actually to tears at moments. But I also was laughing, and I was like, there is suspense, and I was like, is what's happening, is there more to this story? And, you know, while I guessed the thing once things unfolded, and we'll go into it, like, I still was guessing at the beginning, you know what I mean? And, like,
yeah.
So there was mystery, and, like, it checked off a lot of boxes, as you said, and, like, or did you say that about Hellraiser?
Oh, this one did too.
But I mean, really, yeah, I think it did.
But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So, we killed these guys.
Yeah, and now their buddies are here, and you guys might be a little behind me.
So it's time to go to Spoiler Lake. Let's head there.
Yeah.
Dip your balls in Spoiler Lake. Dip your balls in Spoiler Lake. In Spoiler Lake. Lake.
All right.
Every time.
So yeah, they don't actually confirm that it's a murder until a good ways into the movie. But
Dance around all the
but
possibilities of it very well.
the moment that Ashton Kutcher showed up on screen, I was like, if this is a murder, I was like, that's the man that did it.
He has so much charisma that it's like, well, clearly this is our guy.
Yeah. I think that's the one. I wouldn't say it's a mistake, because I feel like the mystery of the film isn't supposed to be like a Hitchcock mystery,
Right.
it's just supposed to be it's supposed to keep you thinking about the story, but they definitely telegraph it a lot when he first meets Ashton Kutcher, because it's just like, wow, this guy, he's charismatic and likable and funny, and you're like, of course every other person in comparison to this guy seems like they'd be the person, so it just feels like he's the person. But I mean, needless to say, like, great job by Ashton Kutcher, who
he did a fantastic performance.
He's not a guy that I've ever discounted, but like I haven't seen him in anything that I thought he was just like really outstanding in, not to his discredit. I mean, some of my favorite actors people like Keanu Reeves, who I adore, are not great actors, but I still like when they do stuff. But he really just he carried weight in that film really well. And,
I think everybody did, honestly. Like,
God,
even the smallest,
the kids,
the family. I forget that you know the actor's name. He was in
Boyd
Logan.
Holbrook. Yeah,
that dude is just amazing.
he is a great actor. If anyone's most recently Sandman on Netflix, he plays the Carpathian, and he is just so good in this role. He's likable. The thing I like about this film is that they kind of make fun of small town culture a little bit.
And that's kind of what I want to get into in spoiler for sure.
Yeah.
And I laughed. Jeez.
Yeah, I just watched that happen right in front of me. I really, the thing I liked about it though was that they did certainly poke a little fun and sort of highlight small town mentality, but they also like make you want to root for everyone.
Yes, and that's very much son-in-law.
Yeah, it is. And you're just like, these people like live a life that just I couldn't fathom. My wife is actually from small town Texas, so she can relate. But it's so wild to me to watch, just how well crafted that is.
Watch this raccoon go over the edge.
Oh, bye, little buddy.
Bye,
raccoon.
Hold on, I'll be.
Okay, I'll come down to it.
Down here to watch.
It didn't go good enough. Do it better.
You guys are committed to this.
Go do it better.
What happens if I drop down here?
Oh, no. Bye, Raccoony.
Oh no,
Sace. Oh, Sace.
Spun out.
Oh no, I'm coming with you, boys. Yeah.
Anyway,
no, there's blatant scenes of like they're at the football game or at the rodeo, and like he roots for, he says something about the wrong Texas college, and he goes off about how it has a prestigious film degree, and then they're like, well, this college is good because of the football team. It's very much. There's a big running joke about Whataburger and why Whataburger is so good, and that all of that stuff is on point hilarity. And like, yes, during each of those scenes and more, I was like, yeah, that is exactly how it is in small town, wherever you pick X town in a small town.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing that this does is it flips it on its head, and BJ Novak presents us with a side of humanity with these characters. Yes, during the movie we are pulled along by the modernness of a city and city life, and like the certain things that come with that. But then he was like, you know what? But here's what matters: is people are genuinely pretty good people, regardless of what they may think or believe. And I think at the heart of this movie, that's the message. Is what, like, and there are scenes that are so beautifully done. The one where he looks at the footage of the missing girl, and she talks about the boy sleeping in her room, and he looks and just motions to the boy sleeping. Like, I genuinely like teared up and cried at that scene, and
they gave that kid such an outstanding sort of like secondary role that he felt like one of the most powerful characters in the entire movie, just because like he just wants to be treated well, and Novak, as he hears him, like, I don't know, interesting supporting actor concept, but it worked very well.
Yeah, and it does with all of those characters, the daughters,
Oh, they're hilarious, yeah.
And I think the grandma from the Lost Boys, the mom from the Lost Boys is now the grandma in Vengeance. I forget the actress's name, but she's wonderful, and I think you'd hit the nail on the head that they just wanted to be treated with respect and well, Yeah. And they were there for BJ Novak's character no matter what, and it's him who effed it up, and his realization.
He wants to be angry, he wants to blame them, and in the end, like, they have this altercation in the parking lot, and he kind of is just being a piece of shit.
Yep.
It's a piece of shit that I also understand.
Entitled in.
Relatable. But then also, like, this family is just kind of like, we may be like, fucked up yokels, but also like, we're people, man.
Yep. And that just like was so powerful to me, because like it's so easy for us to be in many types of people, in not just like small town, but yes, small town people, or anybody that we may disagree with. It's so easy to get caught up in those things that we don't see eye to eye on, that it is easy for us to overlook that. Like, look, like, we embellish the things that we don't see eye to eye on, and we make those the priority and everything, when the reality of it is, like, we're all just trying to get along in this world. Like, we're doing the best we can, and like the 98% of the people in this world are not your enemy, and we're just victims of circumstances like that we are in,
Or thinking that our perspective is right, and it gives us like sort of credence over one another. Like,
correct.
I've been through my experiences, and yours seem lesser than mine. Therefore, I'm a better person.
Yeah. Or I did this, and I am educated, and I have this, so I'm better than you.
Right.
What do you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I just think it does. It just does. It illustrates that so well behind a good mystery that is quite obvious, but it's still a good mystery. Like until it was actually confirmed that it was a murder, I was like, is this a murder? Is this a murder? So that was more of the mystery to me.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the who done it. But and then also, like I said, just genuinely funny. Those Whataburger jokes are genuinely funny. Like, and that's the other thing. Like, it's okay to laugh at the things, like, not just people from small town. And yeah, I'm talking about the Whataburger scene, but like, people are funny. People are funny. Like, the things that we get so attached to are actually really funny, because like, what is so special about Whataburger?
Yeah.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Right there. Yeah, it's right there. Which I think that joke on its own was great. Oh, we got wolves coming.
You can get whatever you want.
Yep. I really liked the way they joked about Whataburger because it is so it's so like perfect because it's how people are about like all their favorite local fast food.
Everything. Insert whatever restaurant, you know, and it's
so,
always the same argument. Okay, but what's so good? And it may not be exactly it's right there, or you can get whatever you want, but it's not far from something like that. Yeah.
Terrific film. A lot of really great monologues too. I feel like sometimes in film, monologues can either really like connect with me or really just make me roll my eyes and just feel like, okay, you know, this is a lot of weird like self-righteous, you know, the scriptwriter really wants to like masturbate with their pen, and I felt like I enjoyed the discussions in this and the character monologues, and I don't know, it was weird that this movie connected with me as well as it did, because I expected, I think, as a whole, halfway through to like it, and by the end I was like, God damn, I want to watch that again.
It is a movie that I could put on and watch from beginning to end numerous times. I could put it on right now and still be heavily into it and entertained.
Do you just want to do that while we do the podcast?
Next week, we'll do the horror movie as we watch Vengeance.
Yep. It's just part of the meta of our show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you put it on at the same time as us, you will watch the show at the same time.
And that was
commentary. It'll just be on.
Yes, we all love it, but I want to touch on one more thing, like, and it stems from us starting it so late, because I'm an hour ahead of you guys now, and so when I started it, and that's another reason I was so surprised, is because it was late for me, so I knew it was late for you. But my original plan, because I had already watched Emily the Criminal, I was like, okay, I'll get through a good portion of this movie and then I'll just finish it tomorrow morning. But, like, a testament to the good film, like, I didn't want to stop watching it until I was done that night. Like, I was hooked. I was like, I'm finishing this movie tonight. And, yeah, I watched it from start to finish, even though I didn't end it until, like, and that's another thing, I kind of took a risk. Like, I was, like, maybe halfway through when I was like, you guys gotta watch this movie, so it could have like been awful by the end, but I was like, hey, watch this movie, it's amazing. But I was so hooked that I was like certain that like it was gonna hell, and if it was bad, it was something for us to talk about. But I was convinced.
BJ Novak's werewolf cousin shows up. Hey, I won the lottery, you can buy the house now. And then that's the end.
You can buy the spoiler for the Munsters episode.
If you didn't listen to that episode, well, too bad. You just got
the
biggest twist in cinema history.
You don't need to watch the Munsters anymore.
No, you don't need to watch it.
Watch Vengeance first, or
watch
Vengeance over the Munsters. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, wonderful film, great sentiment, highly entertaining. Could very well be on my favorite movies of the year list.
Yeah, I can see that.
You could see it being on my list, or you could see it being on...
Only your
list.
Okay, cool.
I think I agree. I think that it's got a high potential to be. I mean, it will be one of my favorite films this year because it is currently.
Yeah, I think so too, for sure.
Whether or not it makes the numbered slots.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, off the top of my head,
sure.
Yeah.
Top 50.
Yeah, it's at least in the top 300 or 400 that I've seen this year.
Yeah.
I think it. I really, again, just think it's great. Thank you for recommending it. It would have been one of those movies that I probably would have remembered that it was, I would have remembered that it was on my
this
sort of, but
it's one of those movies that like I feel exists in a plane of it could very easily become one of those movies to people that like they have the intention to watch it, but they don't get to it, and more things happen to come out, and like it just never gets watched because
falls by the wayside.
Right, falls by the wayside, and I think that's unfortunate, and it should be actually sought out and watched by people.
Yeah, I agree.
You're an armadillo. I'm on my way.
Yeah, I just came into town to pay my
Ransom? Your
bullshit.
your bill? Your bullshit bill?
my cop bill.
Pay my electric bill.
Oh, imagine if you could just do that, like commit crimes and then like go to town and be like,
Pay
"Look, here's
$1.10.
7 cents."
$10 to shoot this old lady in the stomach. Yeah. Like the
So-
by capitalists.
They don't charge that much, so that's good.
That's like a pretty good deal for the old west, I think.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
So yeah, I think we covered some good ground tonight. No pun intended. As I die.
What's the pun?
That we covered physical ground in this game.
Oh, in the cowboy game. For some reason I thought there was like a movie called like Groundlings or something that I missed. I wasn't paying attention. I think we rode all over the map in the old west.
Yeah, no, we just
Jokes
rode
are funny when
aimlessly.
I have to ask what they mean.
But yeah, I mean, unless anything. Oh, hey, Gomez. Gomez.
Hey,
Gomez.
nice to see you.
Gomez, come with me. Gomez.
Your character is just like a one-track mind. Like, loves her friends.
All right,
Mice and men.
guys.
Yeah.
let's redo this episode now. I gotta do the voice.
Yep,
Start from the top, and I'm gonna use the voice and Gomez.
Okay.
Gomez.
I like that movie.
Gomez, good jump.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. So, excellent episode. Great discussion.
Or do we have anything? We have She-Hulk finishing up next week. We might have a movie that just pops up out of nowhere, you know, that we get to
I don't think there's much of anything. It is genuinely like a slow season. I think, honestly, the next big movie is National Treasure 3. Yeah. Oh God. Oh God, you devil. Black Adam, which is at the end of the month, the 26th or the 27th.
Yeah. Why don't we do an episode on Oh God? Because right now I'm like in like this sort of George Burns phase.
Do you really want to do a whole episode on that movie?
Kinda as a goof.
I mean, okay.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
I have never seen it.
I saw it as a kid when my parents used to watch.
Yeah, there's part of me that's like, yeah, it's a pretty cool movie, but then there's the other part of me that's like, I'm not gonna admit that until I rewatch it because
I feel like there's definitely some stuff that could exist that was like a bad product of the times.
Yep, I'm like, oh boy, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm gonna go pay my bounty, and then I'm gonna call it. Oh, is this where we?
Never mind. We gotta step off.
This is where we committed mass murder last week, right?
We did. This is
true.
Look,
Puppy, hold on.
everything comes in full circle.
Can we pet him? Are we gonna commit a mass?
Hello there, pleased to see you.
Giveaway?
No, I'm paying my bounty. I'm clear conscience paid my bounty 57 cents for all those people I murdered last week.
We're gonna do a mass giveaway of bullets.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know, Pasquale. You wanna focus on maybe doing a little bit of immortality? I'm definitely gonna try it.
Yeah, I will make the commitment to start it this week, and like
I'm
I
not
said,
saying I'm gonna get super far, but I want to get to be able to say something about it because I do hear that it's a game that's notable and worthy of attention. So I do want to give it a shot.
Yeah,
and it seems like very kind of up your alley. So in stuff that might appeal to you. So that's why I say, do you want to possibly give it a whirl?
Oh yeah, I think it's worth it. Like I said, I liked her story, and I think that's a really interesting way to play a game. So I will definitely check it out.
Cool. So I guess we aim for, a little bit of video game talk. And we come up with our I guess top 5 horror.
Yeah. Whoops. Hold on,
Whoops.
flash the guy.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to pay. Oh, he's holding his arm. Oh,
I'm
poor
sorry,
guy.
sir.
Poor man. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me walk you to the hospital.
I just
Welcome to the Devil's Graveyard.
came into the bar to grab some drinks.
I want to talk to the train conductor about paying off my thing.
All right, guys.
This is it. This is the end.
Well, I mean, we could continue to go on, but then we'll run out of data by the end of the month.
That's true.
the problem.
6-hour stream.
That's the problem. I guess did you know you can gain weight in this game?
Can you?
Yeah.
That's sweet. Just eating rattlesnakes and stuff.
I just drank a couple of bottles.
Let me
of
see.
whiskey
Yeah,
just
you
to
do
see
look
if
a little
I-
heftier.
Oh,
Just gained. Some
Yeah.
guys, I drank.
Yep. You're a little wobbly, and
Yeah.
you look a little heftier. Cool.
Yep. Gaining.
Yep.
My dues. How do I pay my dues?
I'm gonna
Go to
drink my weight in whiskey.
go to the box office.
I'm at the box office, and then I was trying to pay it, but the guy won't look at me.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna keep
Oh.
drinking. Oh boy, my health core just.
Guys,
got
there's something bad happening here. What is happening?
I'm killing this shit.
Oh God.
Guys, I
Is
just
this
had
happening?
5 bottles of whiskey.
Oh, Mike just blew his guts out.
Oh,
Condition
Gomez.
wanted.
Gomez, I just paid my bounty.
Please
How
let me
you
pay,
go?
Please.
Okay, well,
Dude, you're not going to be able to pay until you like get out of wanted, right? Did you pay it?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Alright.
Go run off and get out of wanted. Gomez, go run out into that field till they don't like you, till they don't want to search for you anymore.
Let me get my horse ready.
And it's now. I wish I so wish I. Oh God, I shot at you. Why they want me now?
Me? Hold on, I need to eat some.
It would have been a perfect ending to me just shooting you in the back of the head as you were running out into the field.
What's it? Yeah, of mice and men.
Yep.
there's a cop coming after you.
I know. I was shooting at Gomez.
Well,
Yeah, I just drank a bunch of whiskey, so I'm stumbling my way into the weeds.
Walking through cactus.
It's cool. The whiskey makes me immune to cactus.
the whiskey just made you.
Yeah. I want to preserve myself.
Well, I'm actually gonna watch a horror movie tonight.
I
And
might
maybe.
watch the goddamn werewolf thing because I really want to play Tunic, but maybe I'll do both.
So the werewolf thing is like not even an hour. It's under an hour.
Oh, then I'll watch that for sure.
And it
Guess that next week.
and yeah, it's with credits like maybe 45 minutes. And it's just like
It's
it's
shorter than an episode of Stranger Things.
yeah. A lot of things are.
Most movies are. Right.
Yeah, it's short and it's fun, and you could honestly, yeah, if you're gonna be up for a little while, you could do both. I am gonna watch A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night on the Criterion Channel, and stay tuned to find out if that makes my top of the year list.
We should
Next
do a
week?
review of the
Cool.
movie. Stay tuned. Okay. All right. Well, gentlemen, where can people find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Atticus582, ATTICUS 582, where I am streaming the Marvel 100. I will be starting game number 53 tomorrow, which is, as I said, X-Men and Spider-Man Arcade's Revenge for the Genesis.
Beautiful.
And I also have a YouTube channel where I post all of my content right now. I'm planning on doing some more with it, but at the very least, all of my streams are harbored there and will not disappear as they do on Twitch, and that is youtube.com/Atticus582, ATTICUS582, and Instagram, Atticus582. So that's where it's at.
All right, P-Man. What's the good word?
You can find me at Twitch under the name Say6Sace, SEISIX, and that is where I am occasionally streaming. Still working on my getting somewhat semi-regular. I managed to get a fair amount of subscribers or followers at least, so now I'm feeling a little more encouraged to hop on there and keep going down my Sega Sega rabbit hole where I've been playing classic Sega games on original hardware. So that'll be the next one. I actually have been thinking about doing a night trap stream.
Oh, I would watch that.
Yeah, and probably a fair number of people who know us, who know John, are kind of familiar with the interesting night trap history he has. In that his shop, Gamers Anonymous, actually came across a lot of what is it, hundreds, a couple hundred, 300.
It was literally I think 210 copies of the game.
Okay, 210 copies of the game that appeared to be like the Blockbuster video recalls of when the panic over it happened, and it got pulled from shelves during the congressional hearings that led to the ESRB, and so it's really cool. And so with that said, I will absolutely be playing that one of those very disc copies from that lot, which I think is just kind of extra icing on the cake. Fair warning, it's a terrible game, but
Yeah.
it's fun to kind of go through the campy horror of it.
Good spooky season game.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. Very
to stream.
Men in pajamas getting killed by men in black pajamas as well. Okay, perfect. And then I'm on Instagram at birdgas.
Can you do this while I'm firing bullets around you?
Yes.
Oh.
Instagram at birdgas. I'm on OnlyFans at Zabezian64. I'm going to give you all the places where I don't actually update. I haven't used my TikTok, which is Zabezian, Zebesian. And I still have a Twitter that I don't use. And then I have my Twitch here, GA Retro, of course. And so you're more than welcome to follow. I like to stream every Sunday night. Don't get a lot of an opportunity to do so, but I'm working on trying to figure a way to even that out.
Keep moving. I'll have nothing to do with you.
I suppose that's it. And I want to thank you guys, as always, for being the highlight of my Sunday evening.
Same to you.
And also, I want to thank Ocelot Gear 87 for coming by and hanging out. I want to thank I Want an Anime GF for coming by and following, and especially want to thank Sace6Sace for that subscribe. So thank you.
That's right.
Appreciate each and every one of you.
Yup. That's how it goes.
Sweet.
All right. Have a great night, gentlemen, and we'll see you next time on the Discreet Error.
Bye-bye.
Discreet Error.
Sweet.